July 12th. And this meeting is for our LJ Realtors. And this is to help you guys to stay up to date with the market, with the news. And we have few topics for you guys to, that will help you in your real estate, career. So let's get started. And we always like to get started with our interest rates. And according to Freddie Mac, they were at 6.81, pretty high. And if you can see the 52 range, that the lowest we saw in the last 52 weeks was around 5% compared to what we're seeing right now on the higher end, as this line is, the highest is around 7.08 as average. Okay. This is according to Freddie Mac. Okay. But for your mortgage news daily right now, as of this morning, they are at 7.09. Okay. This is your 30-year fixed national average right now. But if you're going with the FHA, you might get a little bit less. So 6.79. All right. All right, guys. So this rates that we're giving you guys, this is for one family, FICO of 740 or above, putting down 20% down payment, looking within, conforming loan limits. So with this, you're gonna get something as your national averages, but if your credit score is lower, you might get higher interest rate. All right. Any questions so far, guys? All right, guys. So let's give this example now. So if how difference does a interest rate makes in your monthly mortgage payment? That's what matters to the homeowners. So even when they're talking to you, they might say, "Hey, I'm looking for a property around $600,000, but I don't want my monthly payment to be more than $3,500." So if they don't want more than $3,500, we got to see what interest rate that they're looking at. So the example that we're going to give is for 7%, 6%, 5%, and 4%. Okay. So let's say they're looking for a conventional and the house price they're looking at is 625. All right. Hold on one sec. Guys, just keep it a little low because they're hearing some echoes. Thanks. So we're giving you examples. So if you want to buy a house for 625, so $625,000, and you're going to put down 20%, which is $125,000 in your down payment. All right. So with that loan amount is going to be $500,000, and we'll keep it realistic with these home insurance of being $1,500 and your taxes being $8,000. Okay, so with this scenario here, this is a very majority of our first-time home buyers are looking in this price range, right? So if they were to go with today's rate at 7%, their monthly payment is going to be around $4,100. Okay, if they go with the 6%, if they're going to wait and they wait until it goes to 6%, you're looking at your monthly payment of $3,700 or 38 to be exact, right? And if the same person is going to wait until it hits 5%, they'll be looking at monthly payment of 3,400. And then if it's they're waiting really to see a miracle can happen that it goes from 7% to 4%, which is highly unlikely, their payment will be around $3,200, right? So keep it very realistic that this year we're going to be seeing majority of the payments for single family. Just the example that we give, trying to purchase with 20% down payment around $4,100. Okay, and if they can buy it down or get 6%, they're looking at $3,800. Okay, so as a loan officer, you guys already know this, but as a realtors, you probably don't know the monthly payment that your home buyer is going to be making. You just know the price that they're paying. Obviously you're negotiating that as a realtor, but the monthly payment, that's going to be their loan officer helping them out. Hey, with this percentage, with that percentage, you can go with this or that. Okay, any questions on that mortgage payment, guys? All right. So here are some headlines from the news from past week. So one of them says competition has returned in full force to the housing market as the demand for limited inventory sends home prices soaring. So we see that too. Every time you're making an offer, you got to go a little bit higher. Had this conversation yesterday with one of our agents. should I go higher? It really depends on your client. If they're already paying the high interest rate, they know the payment is going to be higher, and they know that they're going to be paying over the asking price by how much, that you doing the comps for them as a realtor and advising them, hey, I would not go any higher than this, because end of the day you want them to build equity, right? If they're happy with the equity, they know that they got a good deal because of you as being a realtor for them, they'll give you more referrals. So you want to make sure that you probably lose that deal if you don't go with the highest offer, but at the same time you have to keep it realistic, you know and then the bank is going to do a bank appraisal. So if the value is not there, or if the bank values it lower, who's going to pay for that? The contract will dictate who's going to pay for that, right? So it makes a huge difference. So when you guys are sending out the offers, that hey, keep it realistic. Okay, no need to go overboard. Home prices growth hits the lowest rate since 2012. Okay, and that's the reason is that we during COVID it really skyrocketed, and now the growth has slowed, which is fine. We just need more inventory out there, not the prices are not the concern right now as much as the inventory is. Okay, existing home sales slightly up in May. So when we're giving you these headlines, we're trying to give you headlines from different point of view, from different sources, so you can see what's going on being a realtor. Okay. This was another one that the home affordability falls to near 37-year low. The reason being, again, the interest rates are higher. What happens when the interest rates are higher? That your affordability gets lower. You can't buy a bigger house, or whatever. Let's say you are looking for a $600,000 house, because the interest rates, maybe now you only qualify for 550. So you gotta can't buy as high as you want it. So around 36% of the household income was gone towards monthly payment. So that's your national averages. So we know that the interest rates, higher interest rates, does have that effect. Another interesting article was that what will the future for home buyers look like, right? So we're seeing more, minorities that will be, we seen in Queens that buying the houses, and we want to push them. We want to help them out with different. Even our loan officers have so many different programs that can help them out. So we are seeing, more and more of diverse people as home buyers coming in, working hard, saving up their money, building good credit, and eventually buying a house you know so we already, as realtors, know that buying a house is a great investment compared to anything else out there, that in my eyes, at least. you know you guys can think on your own as well, but when you buy a house, you live there for 8 to 10 years, definitely the equity is there. If you're in New York, for sure the equity is there. I don't know about other states. Okay. So you're going to see that, as American homebuyers are getting older, industry leaders are preparing to welcome more Hispanic homeowners in coming decades. And we're already seeing that in Queens. And yes, we want to help out our Hispanic and all the other minorities in our communities. Okay. So the home purchase sentiments remains flat as the consumer adapt to higher interest rates. So what we're trying to educate our clients to, if you guys are waiting for the interest rates to go lower this year, it's not going to happen, right? Most likely it won't happen. Probably mid next year, it might, the Fed might start losing up the interest rates, but right now they're going to be on the higher end. To win in this situation, you can purchase a property where you can refinance down the line and have some equity built over time. If you simply just wait until the market, the interest rate come down, there'll be a bidding war. The prices will go even higher, and by then you wasted maybe a year or two until the interest rate goes down. But then you could have already built some equity in that same property. Okay, so here are some stats. So net shares of Americans who say it's a good time to buy a house rose 5% to 22%. So still a lot of people think that it's not a good time to buy a house. But people who are in the right position, meaning they have good savings, good credit, and they're renting right now, why would they still be paying rent when they can purchase a property, right? And then refinance down the line. Okay. So the net percentage of those who said it's a good time to sell a house, these are the homeowners that want to sell their house, fell 3% from the previous month to 64. Some people think it's a good time to sell, sometimes it's not a good time. So as realtors, you guys should know the biggest reason that homeowners are not going to sell at this time, because they're locked in a lower interest rate, right? They can afford those payments, they're building equity, so it's a good investment for them to just to hold on instead of selling. It just makes sense for them to just hold on to it. So you as a realtor should have an idea. Fine, that's the case. Who are you going to be the listing agent for? You're going to be the listing agent for the person who want to cash in now. They have been waiting for some time, now they want to sell that property, reinvest that money elsewhere, and they want to move forward. Those are the people that you're going to speak to. you know so the net shares of American who says home prices will go up remained at 36% in June. Again, realtors, we don't care if the prices go up or down, we just want to see more inventory. If we see more inventory, we have enough clients that would fulfill that inventory at the market price, right? The market will speak. Every time you have a house, you list it on the market, the time will only tell what kind of offers you get. The your seller can want $1 million, but if you don't get any offer higher than 800,000, maybe the market is speaking. Okay. The net shares of those who says the mortgage rates will go down in the next 12 months drop 1% to 16%, right? Most people think that it will not drop. So another net shares of Americans who are that they are not concerned about losing their job has dipped to 1% to 77%. What does that mean? That people are secure. They're feeling secure. That hey, I have a good job. I'm not concerned that I'll lose this job anytime soon. Okay. So these are some stats. I'll share these with you guys. But just know that the home prices continues to support by the tight supply of homes available by sale and compared to the last year, right? Again, inventory is the biggest drive right now that's driving the prices, and inventory is the biggest thing that's not having enough of it, that we are not doing enough sales. Every realtor out there is struggling because of low inventory. They have plenty of people in their pipeline, but no inventory to show them. Okay. So most homes are selling above asking price. Again, when you see a price, you're gonna do your comps. You're gonna go to GeoData. You're gonna see what's the price there. You're gonna go to RPR and see the stats there. Right. Once you have a good idea what the property should be, there are strategies when the listing agent is putting. So you have to educate your buyer too. Hey, this property is listed for $500,000, but I know for sure it's more than that. 550. Show them the numbers, right? Show them the charts that GeoData has. And because of that, if they want to go higher, then you go higher. That's because the listing agent put it on the lower end so they can have more people coming in and have a bidding war, right? Some people want to put it on the high end of $600,000, listing price, but maybe still worth only 550. So they want to have a negotiation room there. So there's both strategies work well, but most of the time now we're seeing more realtors going on the lower end and having bidding war, or trying to create a bidding war for that listing. Okay. Any questions on the headlines, news, guys? Anything on your mind? All right, guys. So next, let's look at June stats for Queens, right? These stats are from MLS. So let's see what we have here for Queens. So let's first look at the supply and the demand. The supply, which is our inventory, it decreased around 1.32%. Okay. The demand increased around 0.32%. So we know that there's enough buyers. There were already enough buyers out there, even that the interest rates are higher. There's not a lot of people that qualify, but there's so many people that still qualifies that ready to buy. The problem again, according to this chart, is your supply, your inventory even decreased. And your average selling price in Queens around 944, and your average listing price just over $1 million. Okay. So that's your stats for Queens. Guys, every week we are sharing Property Shark, properties for you guys that's coming on auctions. So we have enough agents now that you guys should be talking to investors out there, people that have cash, and they want to flip houses. You want to be part of that. You want to be part of the flips. because for last 2 years the flips were pretty much dead, just because forbearance plans and all that, and there was not. And now we're seeing a little bit more inventory come in for our flips. So I want you guys to be prepared. So when we're Property Shark is not a free service, so we pay for that as a company. We give you guys the listings in a PDF form. We want you to see, if you have any investor, to go take them with you to the auction and have a bidding there, right? So this is a snapshot of one listing here. If you guys can understand one of this, you guys can understand the whole 15 pages that we send you guys, right? So each property will have a photo, address here, and some details for that property, right? If it's a single family, two family, what's the square feet on this, how many bedrooms, bathrooms, when was it built, so all that good stuff, right? So that your details will be here. Now the most important part is going to be your auction date and the auction time, right? This is the time and the date for this property to be auctioned at, and this is your location. Okay, so this is where you're going to take your client to. You can, as long as you have your agency disclosure signed beforehand, and you just have an agreement that he's going to pay you or she's going to pay you 2%, 3% of the sale. Just make sure that you take care of all that good stuff before you take them. You don't want to take them, bid for them, and then all of a sudden they say, "Hey, I don't want to pay you." How are you going to get paid as realtors? Your agency disclosures and a small agreement saying that, hey, they're going to pay me 2 or 3%, whatever you guys agreed on. Okay, so you have your auction date, your auction time, and your auction location. Okay, now as realtors you're going to figure out that how much is this property worth before the repairs and after the repairs, right? You're going to assume that all these foreclosure properties are not going to be brand new, right? They're going to be beat up properties because the owners are already going through foreclosure, and they're not going to be fixing the property for you guys so it can go on auction. It's the quite opposite, that they'll beat up the place, try to ruin it much as possible. Not in every case, but we have seen those. So you're gonna take whatever the address is, you're taking it to geodata, you're seeing what the comps are showing there, and you're gonna see what is the lien amount on this property here. So when you see that lien amount here is 655, this is where majority of the time the auctions will start at, right? Otherwise, if it's changed by the by the court, that might be another case. But you're gonna assume that the bidding is gonna start at 655 for this property. Okay, so before you tell your client, hey, let's bid on this, you want to make sure that it does make sense for this property to be flipped, right? And the flip is what you want to make sure that this property, you add at least $70,000. These, the way right now all the prices have gone up, at least $70,000 minimum, that just to fix up maybe a single family. And that's not doing some fancy work. Okay, this is very basic, renovating the bathrooms, the kitchen, the bedrooms, painting it up and all that good stuff. But if it's two families, it's going to be more, depending on your developer. Some people, or the contractor, sorry, some people will give you a $50,000 quote, some people will give you $80,000 quote. And sometimes the quote they might give you might have say, hey, I'm going to get it done in 30 days. Someone will say, hey, I'll get it in 60 done in 60 days or whatever. So that might be a concern for your investor. But take at least whatever you're paying today, $70,000 on top for the renovations, and then add another maybe $30,000 to closing cost for your seller. It might be less, just add 30. So that's $100,000 in simple math. So whatever price that you're getting, make sure that you can sell it for more than $100,000 for your investor to make some money. So for example, if you get this at $400,000, that is going to cost them total $500,000. You should be able to sell it for at least $50,000 profit for them or not, right? 550, 650, the higher the better for him. But his cost or her cost as an investor is going to be around $500,000 for this property. Okay. So if the bidding starts at 655, this property is a no go. If the lien was around maybe 300,000, 400,000, and the auctioneer says, hey, the bidding starts at 450. Probably you're going to start, and they will tell you what's the increment is going to be. And they might tell you, hey, it's going to be 10,000, 5,000, and then is a bidding war, and is pretty much done in less than 5 minutes. Each property is less than done in 5 minutes. So, guys, even if you have no clients, no investors, right? When we're sharing these with you guys, look at the auction date, the time, and the location, and see if you're available, right, on that day, and just go there, right? I want you guys to go there, and you guys gonna see a lot of other investors there. Start networking, build your name out there, and so this way you can know how this process works. There's a lot of money to be made with these investors, because once you start building relationship with these investors, they'll keep coming back to you because of your knowledge, and you can get them properties. Okay. There will be some properties where they will say that, hey, we don't want cash, we want you to bring in a certified check, and they'll tell you the referee's number, name. So for John, in this case was John G Kennedy, so this will be the attorney's or referee's name. They'll make a certified check for them on this name. Okay. Some properties you can just give the cash, but majority of them they want a certified check. Okay. Any questions on auctions or property chart listing, guys? So each page usually has like 3 or 4 different listings, and there's like at least 10 pages that we guys send you every week. Just pay attention to them, guys, and see how you guys can get started with the auctions. All right. Next, guys, let's these are 5 ways that you guys can stay in touch with your former clients. These are the deals that you have already completed, right? So how are you going to stay in touch with them? So one is that you can build a relationship during the transaction. It shouldn't be just meeting up only when they need you need their signatures or anything. You're going to build some relationship with them. You're going to check with them regarding the property and their family and friends and whatever, how you're going to connect. But your main concern is that you want to talk to them about the property. Hey, you bought this property 6 months ago. How's it going? Are you happy with it? You just staying in touch with them. And down the line, they'll give you referrals because you're checking on them. Okay. The next thing is that you are going to ask them for a referral. Hey, refer me to, I know you're satisfied, refer me to this person or that person, right? Whoever's looking. And if you want to host any events, invite them to it. If you want to send out emails, texts, at all your people that you have closed the deals with, more than welcome. Stay in touch with these guys, because these guys are the people that will give you referral to close more deals. Okay. And for the newcomers, if you haven't closed any deals yet, right, how are you going to get started, right? First is just getting comfortable with the tools. You got to know how to use your tools in order to help your client, right? And if you don't know how to use your tools, it's going to be really difficult. How you're going to stay in touch with them, or how you're going to send for documents for e-signatures, or how you're going to even send your properties to them. Being a LGA Realty team member, we want you to, if you have a client and says, hey, I'm looking for a property, I'm looking for a single family, 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom, we want you to add them to KV Core and send them link to the properties within 15 to 30 minutes. We don't want you to wait days or anything like that. If they're looking for in an area, you should be sending them the properties from KV Core. Even if you have zero transaction, you're starting with MLS. That's the beauty of MLS, is that all the inventory out there, you have access to that, right, to show them. So why don't you get used to KV Core, get used to dot loop, MLS itself, Stratus. Some of these experienced agents love to, they're expert at just Stratus. And that's the key. If you're great at Stratus, you know what you're doing. You know what you're looking for, how much commission I'm making on this, what's the showing time, how's the showing done. They own the broker full right away. That's what we want to see with your newcomers. You want to get used to that. Yes, KV Core has everything in that, but you want to make sure that you know your Stratus as well. Okay. Your email, text, phone. If you miss a call, just call them back. Just don't be judged like, hey, it's been a few hours, or maybe they didn't need me. Just call them back and see what they need. Okay. And you want to put your clients first. Just make sure that you're staying on top of, and putting their interest first, and then you'll never make a wrong decision. right? Just make sure that that you're helping them out, and you want to organize yourself too, even if it's online digital files that you have for them in loop or in KV Core. Just make sure they're organized, they're in there, and you're seeing them. In order to close that deal, you're probably going to look at their name a few times every week to make sure that their file is moving accordingly, especially once you're under contract, right? And you plan out your each day, guys. Some of you guys have part-time or full-time job, which is perfectly fine, right? But if you want to make that transition, you have to start planning out your each day and seeing how I'm going to maintain and your schedule and a to-do list. I have a to-do list every single day, and there's plenty of things that goes on that. And not everything gets done on that same day. Whatever's left, it goes on the tomorrow's to-do list, and it's usually 14, 15 different things every single day. For yourself, maybe it's five things. Whatever it is, you just gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna follow up with this client. Put your client's name there. Hey, I'm gonna follow up with Bob. I'm gonna follow up with them, Pam, this week. I'm gonna make sure that I show them a property this week. Once you have it written down, your brain will tell you, hey, I have to be, you're holding yourself accountable when you're writing things down. So please, if you haven't done it, start making a to-do list. If you write it down, if you have it on your app, just have it to-do list. Okay. And seek out a role model, guys. We have our teams here now. We have four teams. Join one of these guys, and we'll share their details a little bit later on. Okay. And you're going to succeed by spending most of your time prospecting for new clients, right? That's the name of the game. You have to prospect. You have to keep looking for new clients and add them to your pipeline. And more importantly, whoever you have in the pipeline, you don't want to lose them to another agent, right? We hear this all the time. Hey, I'm working with you, but at the same time, I'm working with three other agents too. I don't care who finds me the property. Whoever finds me first, I'm going with them. And you can't blame them because they don't want to miss out on a property already in a tight inventory right now, right? So either you're top of your game, showing them the properties, staying connected with these their current clients, or not. You're gonna lose them if you're not. Okay. And just remember, showing equals closing. If you're showing, you're gonna be closing. As simple as that. It might take you one showing, it might take you 100 showings, but showings is the way to close. If you're not showing, you're just looking at your KV core and not taking any action. You're not actually showing them. You're not meeting your clients. Taking them to open houses or private viewings. You are not going to be closing with that client. Okay. So let's run some scripts right here, right? These are for a few different ones for lead gen. So when you're generating leads, so we're going to use a client, maybe let's say it's Pam. Say, hey Pam, I noticed you were looking at properties in South Ozone Park. I'm a local real estate agent specializing in that area. Can I assist you in any with any questions or provide more information? Right? These are the leads that you're getting probably from Zillow or from OpCity or anything like that, right? You're gonna connect with them with these dialogues. You can switch it up in any way you like. Okay. I noticed that you were searching for a property in Elmont, or one family in Elmont. I have a great selection available. Let me know if I can show you or if you want to see them, right? Or because you do guys have access to exclusive listings in every area that's in Queens or in Long Island through MLS, you can definitely say this: I have access to exclusive listings in Valley Stream. Would you like me to send them to you? Okay. So again, we'll share these slides with you guys so you don't have to write anything down. And this is your next is going to be your follow-ups, right? I recently came across the property that matches your criteria. Are you available for a showing this week? Again, the keyword is showing. Okay. I've noticed that you've been exploring in the market for a while. Have you found what you're looking for, or can I help you with more options? Right? Your best friend is your inventory. The properties itself is the connector between a realtor and a client. It's been a while since we last spoke. right? If you're still interested in real estate, I have some exciting new listings I'd love to share with you. How are you going to share with them? Through KV Core. It's that simple. Okay. And if you have already completed a transaction with them, you want to ask for referrals, and how you ask them, and maybe these three different ways. I'm glad we can meet your real estate goals. If you have anyone else looking to buy or sell, I appreciate a referral. Okay. Or word of mouth referrals are essential to my business. If you have any friends, family who needs real estate assistant, please let them know about my business or my services. Okay. Or you can say, if you were happy with my services, I'd love to ask you for a small favor. Could you please have or could you leave a review about my experience working with me? It would be greatly appreciated. It could be a Zillow. Zillow should be a must. That as realtors, we have our Google page for the realty. If you guys, have your client write a review and mention your name there, that'll be great. But more importantly, it should be the Zillow one. That, hey, I want to make sure this is your personal Zillow account. So all your closings, all your referrals should put, all your clients should put a review in there. Okay. Okay. Or you can just have market updates. You guys are watching this video, maybe you're watching the recorded one later on, or you're watching it live here. Every week you guys getting educated and staying up to date with the market, right? So with this, you can say, hey, I want to share the latest market update for Franklin Square. It's a great time to explore real estate opportunity in that area. Let's connect if you're interested, right? Or real estate market in Franklin Square is heating up. If you're considering selling, now might be a perfect time to capitalize on your high demand. Okay. I stay up to date with the housing market. I can assist you finding your dream house in Franklin Square. Okay. Any questions, concerns? And with these combos, guys, this is just a starting point, just to give you guys what to say. But at the same time, you should personalize this in your own way when you're talking to them. The point here is that you guys stay connected, right? You have to stay connected with the properties. How you're going to stay connected with the properties is through KV Core, right? Make a habit that, hey, in the morning, I'm going to check my database. I'm going to spend 15 to 20 minutes. I'm going to go through every one of these, my clients. And if I want to archive them, I want to archive them because for whatever reason. But you want to make sure the alerts are set up. See your recent results there, see if there's any new property for them for you to text them, right? And that's the only thing that you have to keep doing the same thing. As long as you're repeating that step, out of that you're going to get your closings. So if you're not doing that part, everything else would not matter much when you have zero closings and you just want to get more closings done. You have to make sure that you're showing them, and you're going to be showing them only by staying connected with the inventory through KV Core. Okay. And when you're having a conversation with them, keep it real. If they're telling you, hey, I can't afford a house right now because of the interest rate, you already know the situation with interest rates, so you would understand, right? If they're not ready right now, perfectly. We're not trying to convince anybody to purchase a property right now. We're trying to assist the people who are ready to buy right now. Okay. So last week we went through FHA loan. So we said, what we needed for FHA loan. So now we're going to go through a conventional requirements, and these are very basic requirements. So you guys know what is needed. If one of your clients or yourself are going with a conventional loan for a property, your credit score, we need at least 620 for your down payment. There are programs that will allow you to put down as low as 3%, or with conventional you want to put down 20% and pay no PMI. There's no issue with that either. So between 3 and 20. Whatever your down payment is, always remember to add closing cost, so which is around 4% of the purchase price. Okay, so let's say they're going with 3% down payment and 4% closing cost, so they would need 7% at least to purchase or go with the conventional. Okay, and for their tax returns, we need 2 years of tax returns and two most recent pay stubs. Okay. We also do, when the application is in, we do need other stuff like W-2s, and they might ask for photo IDs. But in the beginning, just to get started, 2 years of tax returns and two most recent pay stubs will give a good idea to a loan officer, how much these guys will qualify, because we don't want to ask for all this information up front when we know that they don't qualify at this, just yet. Okay. So if you have a client, credit score 620, down payment 3%, lowest, closing cost 4%, what documents we need? 2 years of tax returns, two most recent pay stub. Any questions, concerns on that, guys? For rental? No, no, no. This is when you want to purchase a property. Oh, for rentals, yeah, I heard that too. Like, they're asking for the credit score, they're asking for this and that. Just like we mentioned, Joseph brought that up before we got started with the meeting. Like, there's some agents that will ask for a lot of information, right? And you as realtors should judge them too. Like, hey, why are they asking for so much information? And sometimes, they are asking for basic information and your client doesn't want to provide it. So that might be a problem too. So, like I was telling him, we got to find a middle ground where, if they're asking for, hey, copy of the social, should be no problem. Let's provide that. But if they're asking for, all these other stuff that they want to, that's not normally asked, maybe you want to tell the listing agent, hey, we don't have that or we can't provide that. Okay. Yeah. But if you want to purchase a house and you want to go with the conventional loan, a lot of realtors too, especially the new ones, think that we need 20% down payment. Well, you do not. There are programs that will allow a home buyer to purchase as low as 3%. Okay. And the closing costs, like we said, you want to put at 4%. That's a good number to put in. If you put higher, that's even better. But usually 4% is good. Everybody should have 2 years of tax returns. We need those. Without that, we cannot move forward. You know, and most recent pay stubs. We want to make sure that yes, the tax returns are good, right? That this is what they did last year, but we want to see that they're currently working and they got paid last week or 2 weeks ago. Okay. Any other questions, guys, before we move forward? All right, guys. So for our mortgage team, guys, like you said, conventional FHA, DSCR, investment loans, bank statements, we have all the plans for you guys, and we have our team that's ready to help you guys. So if you go to ljmortgageteam.com, ljmortgageteam.com. On the home page, middle of the page, you'll see our team section, and you'll see all our loan officers like James here, Sandy here, Gelson, and then you'll see their phone numbers on the bottom. You're more than welcome to call them, ask them any question that your client might have. Instead of calling me or Jazz or the office, you're just gonna call and stay connected. Start building relationship with these loan officers so they can be a helping hand just to answer your quick question. Hey, my client is making this much, they have this much down payment, how much they qualify for, without even sending any documents. And then maybe, promote, or, Leon can answer those questions right away for you guys. Okay. So we said last week that we'll announce a new agent for our Team Purple, and the name is Sheldon. Okay. He's an associate broker with us. He's been with us, over, I believe, 4 years now. And, he's going to be available for you guys. His agreement plan will come out probably by next meeting, but we just want to announce that Sheldon will be the team leader for Team Purple moving forward. So all his information will be provided to you guys by next week with his plan as well. Okay. Then we have our currently team running. We have Team Gold. We have Rupinder leading that team, and her numbers is there. Again, we want you to join the team if you feel like you need some help to get started, to be there, the helping hand, to review your database, to provide you leads, so you can close more deals. Right? The team leader. There's two ways of looking at it. One is that, hey, why am I paying 10% to a team leader? Or I'm saying, hey, I'm making twice as much as what I would made by myself. Okay. If you're going to make twice as much with a team leader, you should be giving that 10% out of that $10,000 check. 10% is $1,000, right? So you do the math. If you can keep making more deals out of those, you're by joining a team, it should be a good thing. Okay. So you guys already know your requirements. We have Team Green, led by Hassan Raza. Right, he's our a realtor for quite some time here. Also a home inspector, so he has plenty of leads. He's a good person to connect with. So if you want to join his team, connect with him as well, please. And same thing goes for Team Blue, and that's led by AP. His numbers there too. And again, his team is growing as well, and he's a really, tech savvy. Really pushes his clients. Really helps his team members as well. So if you want to join his team, please do so. Okay. And the next office meeting, guys, we want to connect our realtors, and we want to connect our mortgage loan officers. So, our loan officers are presenting some programs to you guys, helping you guys answer some questions. So, we want to have a meeting where both of these companies are put together in one spot, and it will happen on monthly basis now. Uh, the next office meeting will be on July 29th, which is a Saturday from 11 to 1 in office. So please come to the office, and we'll go through our mortgage team and our realtors, answer each other questions uh, regarding clients. Okay. All right, guys. Any questions, concerns? Was this helpful? Was it not helpful? Any feedback? Yes, sir.